I've been called dumb once or twice in my life. Now that we've been doing this for a minute, we got to update that. I want to get somebody, I want to get like, even if it sounds super fake, I want to get like, just like, just like actually erupting into laughter.
Yeah, we're going to have to get some actual people laughing, not just us pretending to be laughing.
Yeah, we got to get like some of our viewers actually laughing. We got to get like some sound clips and maybe some explosions would be good.
Yeah. Maybe we need like a video intro, like like us walking away from a building exploding.
Two dumb idiots. We talk about
like action movie. That's what we should do. We should make a trailer, like an action movie trailer.
And then we can use the Cameo site to get some jabroni to help us, get it moving.
Maybe we could hire some villain type guys.
Yes, we need a bad guy to be like, yeah, the show's all right. I don't trust those two mother effers though. Cut. That's it. That's how it
just get a bunch of.
And then we come on camera just smiling. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to the Two Dumb Idiots. I'm Schmuck, and this is Schmuck number 2. All right, no, for real.
How come I got to be Schmuck number 2?
Well, because I got Schmuck number 1.
I'll give you that.
It's already taken. Welcome to Two Dumb Idiots. I'm Nick.
I'm Kevin.
And if you've never been a part of our podcast before, we like to chop it up with some random ass subjects. We try to stay away from the politics because it's just completely oversaturated. Today we have some fun topics. We're going to hash it out a little bit, play some games. And if you're new here, go ahead and hit that follow button, hang on with us. We are trying to get to a certain amount of followers. That way, Lamb can make a buck,
Yeah. Just so you know, if you are listening to this podcast as it's been recorded later, we are actually streaming this live on Twitch at The Two Dumb Idiots, the number 2.
Yeah, number 2 and the in the front. So if going forward you would rather have it live, you'd rather have some interaction, maybe you'd like to throw a comment in.
We're going to be posting these on YouTube. We're going to try and have it all everywhere. So, all those people that want to consume this can consume it.
If you're listening to us in the future. We might.
That's the only way they can listen to us.
I'm saying, but maybe by the time they hear this, we're already on ABC and ESPN, and there's no reason.
If you've gone back in our catalog from the future, and you're just now like, I'm going to start from the beginning, like season 1.
I feel bad.
I feel bad for you because I can only imagine in the future this would be at least 3% better.
At absolute max, 3% better. There's a lot of athletes have like a ceiling, right? They're like, yeah, he's good, but he just can't jump that high, so he can only be.
They talk about in the draft, right? A lot like his ceiling. He's a little raw right now, but it's his ceiling.
Like if my whole head was like the meter, it would come up like my potential is like here, We're kind of flirting with that line already. So
yeah, I was thinking more. We're about ankle height.
Yeah, ankle height. That's right.
For our ceiling.
We always like to start the show off with any shout outs. I caught you off guard here a little bit. Do you have any shout outs?
I do. Do you have one? Because you can go first. Because I got to pull up the name. Because I want to make sure I shut this.
Man, so many people out here. Definitely want to shout out Malcolm for spreading the word. Some people at work. Got to shout out my man Jordan's always tuning in. My man Joe jumped in there, had some fun with us, and my cousin Paul is always a good supporter. So I like to shout out the regulars, man. We got some good regulars in there. With some funny comments and some good people, so I appreciate that. We actually, like I said, we need a certain amount of followers, and once we get there, we can start collecting revenue. So that's kind of our goal. Even if you got to make 10 trillion bot accounts, do what you got to do.
Yeah, it's a quarantine. You got free time.
You get 11 burner phones, 28 tablets.
Everybody has like 27 devices in their house. Go through the drawer, find those old cables,
turn them all on this channel. Yeah.
Just
Twitch, just trick.
Did you ever see the one old Chinese dude on a bicycle with like 27 phones, and he was like doing Pokemon Go on all of them at the same time, like riding around town?
No, that's genius.
Oh my god, it was just this giant wall of phones he had.
It reminds me of the guy that put like 100 phones in a wheelbarrow and made like a traffic jam on Google Maps or whatever. Yeah. That was great too. All right, so what's your shout out?
My shout out is going to seem a little weird, but it's for a company.
I don't like it already. We're out.
It's called I Love Handles. Is the name of the company.
Love Handles?
It's I Love Handles.
Okay.
They have lots of weird things, but they have this cutting board that I have. It's 2 magnetic cutting boards, and they clip together, stay up straight, and it like saves a lot of space.
Okay.
I contacted them the other day because I've had it for like 5 years, and one of the boards is starting to warp, so the magnets don't line up.
You called like an hour discussion. Y'all got into like cutting boards.
Yeah, we discussed different wood patterns and grains and the benefits of maple versus oak and stains
It
versus.
was a blast.
I had a lovely time.
You're gonna start your own podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
It's called The Cutting Edge.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. All right, sorry, go ahead.
But so I emailed them to ask if it'd be possible for me to just purchase one cutting board versus a whole new set.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of pricey.
What
And
did they tell you?
the lady contacted me. She goes, "Oh, we got an extra one just hanging out.
Hanging out.
Yeah, like at the place. Just pay shipping and we'll send it to you."
Yeah, see that's like a small company type stuff. You know, you're not getting that.
And I was like, "How much?" I was like, "A cutting board. It's kind of like heavy." I was like, "Oh, it's like $11." I was like, "Done."
Sold.
She's like, send you the PayPal invoice." Within 5 seconds, I have a PayPal invoice. I click the button on the PayPal invoice.
Yes.
Paid.
Done.
And now it's being sent to me. I was like, this is how like customer service should work.
Like you call Nike and they're like, we got a couple extra Jordans lying around. If you'd like, we just
We
send
got
those
one
over."
left, like one leftover left 11 and a half. You want it?
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
that's right.
Like that's kind of what I was like looking for. I was
That's
just
right.
like,
All right. So what do we got today? We as always, man, we always have some good stories. We got some games today. You know, I actually wanted to start with a story I read, and welcome. I got some new people coming in here, so welcome aboard, everybody.
yeah, hit that follow button.
Yeah, if you're new, hit that follow button. We did do some shout outs if you missed it. If you're a Jordan or a Paul or somebody, thank you guys for coming in here. But I did want to talk about one thing that I thought was really actually the news is so damn negative most of the time that I wanted to talk about one thing that I thought was really awesome. So Facebook, evil,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Synonymous with evil at this point, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah,
But-
Zuckerberg is officially like a supervillain now.
Yeah, he's actually a supervillain. Facebook came out and said that they're not going to filter, and they're not going to filter posts, and they're not going to say whether something is true or false. They said that they might, if something is deemed dangerous, that they might maybe filter or take something down. But I think that's already a policy they've really had. I think they're maybe just expounding on that. But so they said, like Twitter has come out really recently and kind of gotten a little bit of hubbub because they started filtering or tweeting and saying that, some of Donald Trump's posts are not quite accurate. Breaking news. But Facebook has said they're not going to get involved in that. They're not going to do any of that. They don't want to be involved in that. They're not in the fact-checking business. So what people have done, a bunch of these farcical type papers, The Onion, for some reason I think both of these papers were based out of Australia, which I thought was strange that Australia is just pumping out bullshit.
Well, yeah, he's got no sway there.
Yeah, no, that's right. So these articles, The Onion and a couple other ones, have decided that what they're going to do is they're going to try and circulate as many horrible articles about Mark Zuckerberg that they can to try and get Mark Zuckerberg to see how silly his policy is. So the first one that I saw, and apparently they released two right off the bat. The one was that he was dead. That he was dead. So
Yeah,
right off the jump, he was dead. I thought that was dumb though because that's like an easy Google, right?
Yeah.
It would be like TMZ would be, just all over it. But yeah, so the first one was dead. And actually today, just to check it, I started typing Mark into my phone and it said Zuckerberg dead. So it does already, people are already kind of getting it to trend, which is great. The other one, my absolute favorite, was I saw that an article posted that he had gone to a mall and he had a butt STD and he had actually infected the entire mall with this STD that he had in his butt. So, if Mark Zuckerberg does get to the point where he does see this article, and what was the other one? There was another one.
That he was a child toucher.
That he was a child molester. That's right. So far, Mark Zuckerberg's dead, molesting children, and he's got some form of horrible butt STD that
But you can say whatever you want on Facebook.
apparently he can't. So now the question is, once that circulates back to him, do you think that it has any say on him changing his policy? Let's say, and let me say this for the hypothetical purpose, because that question is not, it's kind of loaded. If, let's say, that photo of, or him getting pedophile, him being a kitty toucher, or him with the butt thing, those get 5-10 million shares.
Easily, they're getting that.
Okay, so let's say that happens.
Yeah.
And it comes across his desk one day, secretary's like kind of standing away from his butt.
Yeah. Now, it's weird because he's big on optics.
Yeah.
He's big on how he appears and all these things and stuff like that. So I think this could become like an actual
like an actual issue.
for him
Yeah.
and for the company.
Yeah.
Because right now they're using Mark Zuckerberg.
Mhm.
If he's smart, he can just take it and like keep his company rolling. But if this starts going to other people that aren't Facebook employees,
Mm-hmm.
So now I can say anything about anyone, and you're not allowed to take it down.
Right.
I can just literally like make up lies about, like, as long as you don't accuse them of crimes.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I don't and see, and
like,
I'm
and
not,
what's
I'm,
dangerous? Like, if I say like, Nick touched me last podcast.
right, but that's what I'm saying. I don't know the
Is that
legalities.
like a?
Like, how does it not become slander? Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand. I guess
And I know public figures have different like levels they're allowed. They have to. And if you're a satirical newspaper, I guess you can say whatever you want.
that's the other thing is that there are definitely some laws in place that you can have satire and it not be something where people actually get in trouble with it. But I am curious to see because everybody has pride. This guy is borderline narcissistic. So he probably is narcissistic, but as a person, you have to understand that like we're not in the age of like, oh, everybody hears something and everybody immediately knows whether it's real or fake.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times, I mean, I can't think of anything off the top of my head. I'm sure something will pop in as I'm saying this, but over the years, there's been so many times where somebody said, do you know that X and Y happened? And I said, that's actually not true. Like, they've said that for years, but it's actually not true. And you know what I mean? So that's happened a lot. I'm saying if Facebook starts spreading around rumors that the guy's got butt mice and
I love the idea of a butt STD that's somehow so contagious. He goes to the mall, farts once, and everybody's got it.
get the hell out of here.
I feel like at that point, everybody has the same butt STD worldwide.
Whole new meaning to silent but deadly.
Yeah. And yeah, like what are the complications of this butt disease?
That you just
got an itchy butt for the rest of your life?
Yeah, itchy butt syndrome rest of the life, dude.
All right.
I mean, okay.
You work with it.
So I'm saying, so he comes back to his desk, he sees it, he said, man, people are telling me I got the itchy butt, and he's trying to decide, okay, do I let this go or not? That's something I think you could let go. The kitty touching, I think, is a actual accusation, right? So if it's not considered slander, let's say it's not. Let's say they can't get in trouble for saying it.
Yeah. Do you remember a few years ago there was like a whole big thing on like in the back of a pizza parlor? There was like a secret like kitty touching ring.
Oh yeah, and then it got disproven.
Yeah,
because
completely disproven. But it was like a huge thing.
Yeah,
like
it was in DC.
But like news company, like a place got shut down. Like news companies were reporting on this.
It was. Oh my
so
God.
like it doesn't take much.
No, it doesn't take much to get people wound up. So I'm saying if people aren't aware of the story that these are satire, and then they come across a news article that, Mark Zuckerberg's a kitty toucher, people, I guarantee 10 years from now, you're going to be talking to somebody and they say, Mark Zuckerberg, wasn't he a kitty toucher? Hillary Clinton was running pedo ring out of the... That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, she loves pizza and touching kids.
That's
apparently.
right. That was the rumor, was that Hillary
Right,
Clinton...
Malk.
Hillary Clinton really shouldn't be involved. It's Bill Clinton that should be involved in
Yeah,
that.
if you say that Bill likes pizza and touching kids,
Yeah.
I'm a little more.
I'm sure he does.
More on board.
He probably does. But I'm saying, 10 years from now, somebody says to you, "Hey, wasn't Mark Zuckerberg the guy touching kids?" That's not the shit that he wants. He doesn't want that kind of information circulating.
I don't know if you remember this Richard Gere rumor.
No, this is what I'm talking about.
This was like a real thing. Apparently, the story is like he liked putting gerbils up his butt.
Okay, yeah, I 100% remember this story.
Yeah,
100% remember this story.
And then there was something.
Bill Clinton just like BJ's under his desk. He did, yeah. So, but
who doesn't?
right? But he also is connected to some Jeffrey Epstein in some weird ways.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to.
We'll get to that.
He's gonna have to explain himself at some point.
But that was like supposedly like he was like involved with Scientology and then got out. And they started this thing as like a whole campaign
like
to ruin his life.
Like a slander campaign. Yeah. Okay, I 100% know the story now that you've refreshed me. Yeah, he was in there. He wanted to leave. They told him, if you leave, we're going to mess your whole life up. And then they spread the rumor that he liked gerbils in his butt. I'm saying for years, people said that Richard Gere liked gerbils in his butt as an actual fact. Like, it wasn't debatable. There was that's just what it was.
Yeah.
It was just a straight, true story.
And they did that before the internet, before social media, before anything.
And nothing could stop the power of that kind of gossipy, whispering each other ear crap. And
so imagine this times 1,000,000 with social media and Facebook and everything.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of the day, you're absolutely...
And you think, what if what if Twitter gets on board with this?
Yeah, starts passing stuff around. I
mean, they just go, oh, we're not flagging this. Like, they just see the satire in it, and they go, okay.
I legitimately don't know the rules. That's why we need somebody litigious in here that actually has some freaking clue of what's going on in a slander.
What about if Twitter had...
Or libel. I don't even know the difference.
Yeah. What if Twitter had, like, a thing you could click on?
You're already gearing up to excite yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
that could, it gave it a special check mark or a mark that said satire.
Satire. Crazy satire. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
But I'm saying, like, so you can just, like, you're like, I am being satirical when I say this.
Yeah. I mean, that solves that problem. That doesn't solve.
But I'm just saying, like, I think that would be, then you can, that basically is like a free for all for, like, I'll say whatever I want.
I mean, I'm saying, but I'm saying we don't even know if that's not allowed right now without the satirical tag. I'm saying if I might be able to say right now that Donald Trump was born a lady, and I don't know if that's
allegedly.
Right, allegedly.
I'm
saying if I tweeted that out, is that my
people are saying that.
People are, yeah.
People are saying that Donald Trump was born a lady.
You can't use people are saying right back against him.
But I'm saying
a lot of people are saying that I'm doing a good job.
I'm just saying. I heard people are saying.
Yeah,
okay, I heard that. And but they use that because that's technically not a lie.
Right.
You said it, and I heard people are saying. So I'm saying people are saying it.
All right, back to the point though. Facebook. I'm saying what I mean, is it something to you where he actually draws a line in the sand because he gets pissed off? Yay or nay? Do you think you got a prediction?
I think he might have to, only because he's getting actual like pushback from the public.
That's what somebody told me. Oh, yeah, okay, so maybe that's allowed. Maybe I'm allowed to say that's what somebody told me. I heard this through the grapevine. So-and-so likes gerbils in the booty.
Yeah, okay. Somebody told me Mark Zuckerberg is a kitty toucher.
I really think it's going to piss him off. I think people have so much ego at that level that I think he's not going to be able to tolerate every day opening his own app and seeing millions of articles being circulated that have him either with STDs, child touching, dead, and I'm sure the stories are going to get more ridiculous as the days go on. So
I just mean like he's getting pushback from people. It's obvious because of that those people aren't happy with their decision.
For sure.
Everybody, if you get 50 million people that are like liking these satirical things, a good portion of them like know what it's about and then therefore don't like the policy of Facebook.
Right, for sure.
Because of it.
Think he actually uses the app now? That's a strong assumption. Yeah, I mean,
I guarantee you think Zuckerberg's got the Facebook app on his phone.
I would be flabbergasted if he doesn't.
I would be flabbergasted if he does.
Wow, see now let's get ugly in here, all right? Is there like a punch button?
Put him on.
Bling ding. We just start battling it out.
That's what we need. We need a bell.
I'm with Kevin. All right, so Ram of Thorns with you. Paul's with you. Okay, but he owns it. You don't want to say every now and again he wants to check in on it?
Nah. He's got like somebody who's monitoring his feed.
Do you think it's too dangerous for him to have it on his own phone?
I guarantee. Yeah, he doesn't want his phone getting tracked for everything.
The irony is unbelievable.
Because if Facebook did get hacked and they got access to his data,
I'm just saying the irony that you can't.
Oh, I know.
You have an app and you can't have it on your phone because you don't trust it.
I guarantee it. I guarantee it. He doesn't trust that app. He knows what that app can do more than anyone.
You don't think he goes home and goes on Facebook?
No. I think he has literally someone who pays $40, $50, $60, $80,000 a year, whose job is to monitor his Facebook, to monitor Facebook trends, for him to post photos.
The only thing is he's checking on Facebook is how much money he's making.
Yeah, I know. He might have a stock app on his phone for Facebook.
I just think it would be hard to improve on something that I own if I wasn't actually using it. But okay, here before you say something, I'm gonna say one. I know that most celebrities at a certain level get to the point where they don't control their own social media. At least some of them.
Yeah.
After we discussed this Mike Tyson thing the other day, I went and actually looked at his Instagram. There's absolutely no way that he's running that Instagram. It is so professional.
Yeah.
It's I'm gonna be here. Come get your autographs. And I'm just like, look, man, like there's no way Mike Tyson's rolling out all these beautiful like.
He's not editing videos and like putting them up.
Right. There's just no way. I'm saying I agree with all of that. It's hard for me to believe that you own $1 billion, $1 trillion company and you don't at least have that app on your phone. It would be actually shocking to me if somebody said, you don't have the app on your phone? You'd be like, no. I think that would be embarrassing. I think that would be embarrassing for him. If somebody asked him that question, he had to answer, no, I don't have it on my phone. People are like, well, why? People are like, you don't even trust your own phone? I think by like just that, he doesn't want to get caught in that web.
I wouldn't be surprised if he has the app that's never been signed into.
Fair enough. We'll move on that. We'll give you.
So he could just be like, so they could see it on his phone.
Yeah.
Like,
see, I got it. Facebook.
I got the emoji. I'm not gonna click on it for you. I don't want you to see my private stuff.
Love some Facebook. 8 hours a day. All right. What else we got here? We got a
lot of things.
We got so many things. Oh, you got your 100-year-old lady.
Yeah. Let's get to
Land's
that.
all pumped. Yeah. 100-year-old women. Wait.
Yeah. That's my jam right here.
Wait. Not the 100-year-old women or the story.
Bud Light.
All right, so we got 103.
Yeah.
Massachusetts. Near your neck of the woods where you're born.
Yeah, exactly. So this lady had the coronavirus in the hospital, like serious business. Finally beats it. Decides she wants to celebrate with a Bud Light. Got a nice aluminum can there.
Oh, yeah. Aluminum bottle looking good.
Frosty.
Yeah.
She likes her beer frosty.
The only time I've had one of those bottles is like a sporting event, so it only brings back good memories.
I'm trying to think if I've ever actually had one anywhere else.
Never.
I
never
think
bought
I
one
had one. I've had them at like sometimes I'll have them at like beach bars.
Yeah, that's possible. That's
like because they're colder. Like
you're
they
right.
stay
I
colder.
maybe had it at a
longer.
restaurant somewhere in like the Carolinas or something. They gave me one. But my point is with this. All right, so I have two things on this story. You probably have your own thing. One, this is not even the first story this year with an old lady drinking Bud Light.
It was Coors Light last
Coors
time.
Light, okay.
But still,
I don't even think it's. I think there's three stories. I think there's another story of a lady
because it was the lady who would send beer.
Right, but there was
Coors
another.
Light.
There was another lady that was like just drinking. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna put my foot in my mouth. My point is something changed in the last 30 years? I never ever saw any of my grandparents, any of my grandparents, any of my aunts, or whatever, anybody in my family that's older drink a Bud Light above the age of like 65.
My grandfather drank Budweiser.
Right. Okay, and that's one thing. Your
But-
grandmother.
Well, my grandparents didn't live
you
long
have-
enough for me to ever really like.
Do you
see
have
them in
one
that life.
family member that's a girl that drinks Bud Light that's above the age 50?
I was trying to think if I have anyone who drinks beer.
Yeah, I mean, legitimately.
Like let alone Bud Light beer. I don't think
Yeah,
I have anyone that's
you're
like
listening to
over
chat,
40 that drinks beer.
If you're in the chat and you have a family member that's over the age of 60 that drinks Bud Light, please shout that out. Because here's my thing. So the lady that was drinking it at the house and she said she ran out, she provided an explanation that I thought gave me some kind of understanding. She said that it's nice to come home and have one of them or two. I think she said one. And one every night is relaxing to have a beer and it puts her to sleep. Okay, one beer for me is going to do literally nothing. But for an older
The
lady,
thing it does is make me want another beer.
yeah, or have to go to the bathroom. My point is, I wonder if legitimately it's just a nicer way of like having like a glass of wine.
Are you a wine person?
I mean, I'll drink it if somebody gives it to me. I have yet to find a wine that's blown me away.
I'm the same thing.
Okay.
Like I can make it through a glass.
Yeah.
But it's like weird because if I said, "Oh yeah, I like to have a glass of wine when I come home," no one blinks an eye.
Yeah, no way.
If I say I like to have a beer every night,
You're an alcoholic. You're a degenerate.
yeah.
You're a loser. And this is even
and yet
yeah.
one beer is actually less alcohol than one glass of wine usually, or pretty equivalent.
I 100,000% agree with you. There is absolutely a stigma with beer that's not with wine. Wine's appropriate, but I think it's the news. News says, oh, you can have a glass of wine. It's good for your heart. It's good for your blood pressure. It's good for all these things.
Too much work with wine. Just give me a beer. I agree. The problem is,
Too much work, just the bottle opener.
well, no, the problem with wine is like it goes bad. So like you got to like open it and then you're like, I guess on not necessarily that night, but pretty soon,
Yeah.
you got to finish this thing off. I love that you can have a single beer.
Yeah, my biggest issue with wine, and it's not even an issue that I can't fix, but it's that most wine, red anyway, is supposed to be drank warm. I don't want a warm beverage unless it's cold outside.
Yeah, it's not refreshing.
I'll have a hot cocoa if it's cold outside. If it's hot outside, I want a cold beverage. I'm saying in general, I don't like to drink warm water. I don't like to drink anything at room temperature ever. I don't like any food at room temperature. So I don't know why even wine has been pushed like that. And my grandmother, every time she has a glass of wine, puts 2 cubes of ice in it. Every time she does it, people give her shit. You're going to put red wine over ice? And I'm always like, every other drink in this planet is cold. And not only cold. People don't specify just it's got to be cold.
Cold, as close to ice as possible.
Cold as the Rockies. It was shipped cold. It was brewed cold. It was, every part was cold. We didn't get it from the warehouse to the truck. We put it in a freezer and rolled it in.
Yeah.
Everything's cold. But for wine, lukewarm. I don't get it. I don't want it. I mean,
and then you got to let it breathe.
well, white wine you can have cold.
Yeah.
White wine you can have cold.
Yeah.
Actually, to be honest with you, I think white wine tastes better most of the time. But I think red wine.
But if you drink white wine in front of like a wine person,
Yeah,
they think you're like an idiot.
Yeah, you're an idiot. You don't understand red wine.
Oh, you like Chardonnay?
Yeah. What about a good Bordeaux? I mean, I'm saying,
Yeah.
okay, and I also think there's this, and I think this is a real thing. In my lifetime, there's been a dozen things that I have, at some age, genuinely not understood how people like it. Coffee, beer. Both my mom and my dad drink Bud Light, Coors Light. Hey, all right. Is that Paige Mearing? Is that Paige? Is that you? I would love if that's Paige. They're both over 60. Okay, well, that's what I'm. Okay, every night, if whoever this is, every night, do they drink it every night, or is it one of those things where like they drink it at like an occasion? Hey, Paige, what's up? All right, welcome to chat. Hell yeah. Do they drink it every night? Do they drink it like once a week? Are they big fans of it? Is it their only beer that they drink? Answer all those questions in order if you have a second.
Yeah, I expect commas and proper punctuation.
Okay, yeah. So she's saying her parents love Bud Light. I'm saying, okay, but she's from like Southern Maryland, so that does put like.
Do they like 10-ounce beers?
Oh, 10-ounce beers are my shit too, though. I'll never forget somebody gave me a 10-ounce Budweiser. I'm like, why do you give me that? Because every sip is cold. And I'm like, I like this guy.
I know.
That's a good point of view. My dad does for sure. Every day, at least a couple Coors Light. Okay, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Mom drinking it though is interesting too.
Although I will say a lot of 10-ounce, hell yeah, stays cold
yeah,
longer.
that's what I was talking about. This cold thing is a phenomenon.
The only thing is I will not agree that it stays cold longer. I will say that you consume it in the time that it's still cold.
Fair enough. I agree with that.
It's not like this magical can that like
no, but I do agree that the cold thing is important because nobody literally
that bottom of that beer.
It's disgusting. Everybody's least favorite part of a Bud Light is like the last 3 ounces where it's just backwash and warm beer. So you want to try and get through it faster than that. 10-ounce beers, awesome. Love the idea.
For those that don't or haven't been in Southern Maryland, 10-ounce beers are only available in 3 counties as far as I can tell in America.
Really?
Yeah, and they're all Southern Maryland. It's Calvert, Charles, and St. Mary's.
We're not even that Southern. It's so bizarre to me that we like somehow get this like, Alabama type atmosphere in there in the middle of Maryland.
But it has.
It does.
It really has
Oh,
moments where you're like, man, this is straight up South.
Yeah, my friends, I grew up on a tobacco farm, and you're just like, man, we grew up really different. We were 20 minutes apart.
I dated a girl whose dad, they grew tobacco, and she like grew up on a tobacco farm in Calvert County, right in the middle of Prince Frederick.
Bizarre. So yeah, so we got these old ladies drinking beer. I would love to know if this lady drinks one every day. I'd also like to know, is it like her goal to get like an advertisement? Is she like plugging this? Or
She's like, I'm gonna be set for life.
Maybe like
for Bud Lights.
I'm curious to find out if like maybe she's like completely senile and she has no idea what's going on.
She just ask for a drink and somebody
like
goes,
her
"This would be
granddaughter was like-
hilarious." And they took a photo.
Maybe her granddaughter's like, this is the moment we get Bud Light sponsorship. Blah, 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 blah. And she's just over there like, thinking it's like medicine or something. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. We got a fun game for today and I really want to get into it. I love this game.
Oh yeah, you don't want to get your bees guy?
All right, let's show my bees, dude. Just for a second. Florida's teen stung over 600 times after inserting his penis inside of a beehive. I only wanted to put it on because it made me laugh, and I don't even know if that's the real kid, but that picture looks miserable. I have no idea.
Yeah, Malk Wilson, I got to give him a little shout out here. Sounds like a missed opportunity for promotion for Corona beer.
Damn it.
Man, Corona. I'll take Corona down.
Yeah, I'll take Corona Hedger. They should give her a beer for life. It's probably not
I gotta give it to you.
All right.
Be like, yeah, beer. You get a beer a day. Here's 365 Bud Lights for the rest of your life.
Jordan out there said, Hippodev said they should give her a beer.
Florida.
Yeah, well, he said they should give her a beer for life. It's probably not the biggest commitment. That's a pretty funny joke. Yeah, here's beer for the next 2 months. Yeah, Florida. Yeah, literally every story, dude. We just said this the other day.
Yeah.
Every story that starts with something just totally
Florida.
insane. It's like, Florida man eats alligator while alive. You're like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
So this kid went under his house. He found a beehive. His friends told him that sticking your junk in a beehive is like warm honey. So he thought it was going to be like this awesome.
I heard that if you get if a bee stings your dick, it gets bigger. I think it's temporary, but
it sounds like a genius then.
He's gonna come out of this.
The picture is cropped from here down because it's just dick from here down. Just cock from there on out. Shout out to this kid getting laid. First off, 600 bee stings. If this story's true,
who's counting?
Well, I'm curious if this dude's even alive, bro. What's
Like
this?
warm apple pie.
Yeah, like warm apple pie, dude. You got to get that beehive going. For me, I've only been stung by a bee a handful of times, but the one is when I stepped on an actual thing. Got stung like 20 times. Miserable experience. Cried like a baby. This was last week. No, this was when I was like 12 years old. But it's scary, man. Like, you don't realize like when it's going to stop. This kid definitely thought he was going to die.
It's weird because like I've been stung a handful of times in my life, not like any excessive, never even more than once. And I do remember every time I get stung, I forget how much it hurts
until
you get stung again, and then you're like, Oh God!
You haven't been stung in 2 years. You're like, what is? I'm not even worried about this thing. And then it stings you. You're like, this sucks. I remember when I was a kid, and maybe somebody else has had this happen. I went on like a picnic somewhere, and my dad was there, and there was like a hornet on the table. And everybody, it was just bothering the shit. It was just like, it would come over and then come back and come back. My dad just got fed up, and the next time he came, he just smashed it with his hand. And as a kid, I was like, what are you, insane? Like, that's like smashing a like cobra with your fist. You know?
Strangling it in one.
It just seemed so crazy to me. But my dad's hands are much more similar to like a leather baseball glove than they are a real hand. So I think that's why he did it. But this is 100% honest. When I have kids, it is my absolute goal to do that at least once, maybe twice in front of them, so that they're like.
You do have to establish dominance a little.
You got to. I want them to know that I'm like a complete badass, even if that bee stings me and it goes through my hand.
I'm never letting him.
I just look at him dead in the face.
I'm gonna pull it out through the other way.
Put it on my sandwich.
Tell your friend.
You see that little Timmy? You're a punk, and I'm not. No, I was kidding. All right, that's my kid. All right.
Yeah, your kid's a punk.
Your kid's a punk.
Your kid's definitely gonna be a punk.
All right, so let's go on. So we what did this start? We have a really good game today, but it actually started with a good story. What was the story?
All right. So.
Oh, we didn't start with a story.
No, it started with an idea, and then we just
thought
it'd be hilarious.
In the last,
it started with the murder hornets.
Murder hornets. Okay, so in the last few months, 2020 has been it's been
kicking us in the teeth.
It's been tumultuous. It's been a shaky start to the year. And some of the funny jokes that have been running with people is that every month gets worse, right? Every month there's something. At first there was, we got the virus, we had the murder hornets, we had cicadas or the, bugs.
Locusts are coming.
Locusts, yeah. People, every month there's something getting crazier.
Oh, there was the fires in Australia.
Right. It seems
there was Iran maybe going to war.
Every month's getting wilder and wilder. So we decided that we would come up with maybe the 8 things that could happen in the next 6 months, and we're gonna try and have a little battle here.
Oh yeah, Kobe, World War III.
Oh my God, World War III before Kobe.
Yeah, I'd say World War III trumps Kobe, because if we have World War III, Kobe's probably dying anyway.
Disagree. Kobe's definitely making it out of World War III, dude. He's clutch as fuck, dude. He's even the only one left, dude. It's like, where are all my
dropping grenades?
Where my soft ass teammates at, dude? Yeah, they're dead, Kobe. They're soft as starving. All right, Kobe, get out of here. All right. Kobe. Yeah. So we got some. It was a weird year. So me and Lamb, we got a little bracket going on, and we're gonna pit up against some of the weird stuff that we came up with, and we're gonna figure out because we like to predict the future. If you're new to this podcast and you don't know, me and Lamb have twice now predicted the future.
Yeah.
We did a bracket last time, and we decided who was gonna die of all the people that we didn't like.
Who's gonna get the coronavirus?
Yeah. Who's gonna get the coronavirus and die? I'm sorry. Who's gonna get the coronavirus? You're right. We had 16 people on that list, right?
Yeah.
It whittled it all the way down, and what's his name?
Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein got it. 2 days later, Harvey Weinstein actually got it. So as far as we're concerned, anything that happens on the show might actually happen. So today we're gonna have a little battle. Let's put this up on the screen. What do we got here?
Let's get to this board.
Let's get to this.
Boom.
First
one.
Right off the bat, we have a grizzly bear with chainsaw hands. So the story behind this is all true. Everything in here is true.
Facts, baby.
That's all we do is spit facts here. Grizzly bears, a lot of the stores have been closed. A lot of the home improvement stores are closed. Nobody's there. So the bears have actually gone in and attached these chainsaws to their hand. A lot of people are worried that they're going to run out in the public and kill everybody. So that's one thing we're worried about. And then what do you got over here, Lamb?
We got volcano lightning.
Volcano lightning. Very classic situation.
So there's been a buildup of excess static electricity in the air due to the immense use of broadband and 5G.
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to cause these giant volcanoes, when they erupt, to have giant, enormous volcanic thunderstorms and lightning attached to them.
From what we've read, almost all of the volcanoes are going to go off at once.
Yeah,
right.
It's just going to be it's just like the static electricity is building up, and it's basically like touching the doorknob.
I heard the deep state armed the bears, dude. That's actually a rumor too, dude. I read that somewhere too, that these bears are actually a big plan to just try and mess up this election. So that's what's really going on.
They've been going around like buzzing up like voting booths.
just
there's no voting booth, so we all got to vote by mail.
Just hanging out in lefty states,
yeah.
just chopping shit up. Okay, so if you're in the chat, we want to vote. Do we want people to vote on what they want to see or what they want to not?
Which one's most likely? Which one's coming?
Yeah, which one's most likely here? Y'all need it on Facebook. It has to be true. Yeah. Once we put it on Facebook, once we decide what actually happens here, we will put it on Facebook so it really turns into realness. But we want to know of which one of these things we hope people happens. We hope happens.
Which one we
Think is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
yeah, we're trying to predict the future, folks.
okay. So for me, I did come up with the bears with the chainsaw hands. Grizzly bear for sure. Chainsaw bear. Damn it! Everybody's on the.
All right.
I was gonna go lightning, but now everybody's already on this chainsaw bear.
Well, I got to go lightning only because it was my idea.
All right, so we got 3 chainsaw bear, we got 1 lightning. Because I'm gonna stick with my chainsaw bear. I really like. If like 9 of these bears came running at people with chainsaws, it would be one of those few moments where I'd be like, look, this isn't one. I got to defend myself. We're gonna have to get in the car. We're gonna have to completely move and get new stuff.
That's it. We're over.
New
It's over.
New friends, new family. Everybody's just.
Just stop it.
That's right. Did you hear about Jim, dude?
A chainsaw bear.
Cut into 11 pieces.
Then 8.
Yeah. Died in a bear accident. What a smuck.
Bear
All right.
chainsaw.
All right, so we're gonna go.
All right, so chainsaw bears win.
Jared, no, we don't need that.
You hit both buttons.
Yeah,
By
my
your
fat
fingers.
sausage fingers just banging buttons. All right, so the bear wins.
All right, hold on.
So then we got number 2. So
Let's get rid of that.
we get rid of bear.
And
Can the bear just stay up there the whole time?
the whole time?
Just hang out with us.
All right, so who's next?
Next,
Start off with one, and I'll put it up.
Dasani.
All right, so we got the Dasani.
Dasani, right?
Covering it with your hand doesn't help me.
Yeah, I got you. See, what if I pointed out? What if I covered my whole hand like this?
All right, so Dasani
And then Bud Light Lime.
is going to battle.
Bud Light Lime. So, okay.
All right, so we got to get backstories here.
Yeah, so you guys don't know. This is all facts. We've done all of our research ourselves. You guys don't need to do any of it. I wouldn't even Google this because you're going to get a bunch of like, oh, that shit's not true. Trust me, it's true. What we're worried about is happening in the future. All of the water supply is infected. Maybe COVID, maybe something else. But we do know that their security is low. And worst case scenario, the only water that you can get is Dasani going forward for the rest of the year.
That's it.
That's it. That's
Dasani.
it. That's the only thing left to drink.
No
Dasani.
tap water, no nothing, just Dasani.
Very similar situation. All
the beers.
With the beers, it ends up affecting most of the beers. So the only beer choice you get for the rest of the year, bow, Bud Light Lime.
Because they make Bud Light Lime with Dasani.
That's right. Same factory. Everybody knows that. That's a national fact.
Only safe factory.
That's right. That's right. So we got Bud Light Lime against Dasani. Everything else, no more water for the rest of the year. Rather drink my own pee. All right, that's what we were hoping for. I'll take Dasani. At least it isn't Nestle. Wait, is it? Is it?
I thought Dasani. No, Dasani's.
What does Nestle make?
think-
Nestle definitely has its own water, and that's gross too.
Yeah.
But Dasani, I don't like either. Dasani's disgusting. I'll take Dasani, yeah. So rather drink my own pee. That's a good one. I do like that.
There's no option for pee though.
Well, I think he's choosing Bud Light Lime.
Oh.
It's yellow.
All
All right, so what do you got? What do you think is more likely?
I could see the Dasani actually happening.
I-
like bottled water in general, but yeah.
I agree, but I also think that summertime's coming. Companies are shisty. All of a sudden, Bud Light comes out and says, "Hey, there's been a mistake. All we have is Bud Light Lime." They try and push that product. All of a sudden, bam.
Paige apparently buying Nestle water by the 5-gallon container. Screw y'all.
You're saying, all right, you know what, Paige? Let me explain something to you. We're about to have a podcast in the next few weeks, and we're about to bring in 20 different brands of bottled water, and we're going to settle this debate live on air and figure out what order they go in. Nestle water, I'm not a fan of, but you tune in, you can argue against me.
Yeah.
I don't like Dasani either, to be honest. That sounds so picky. When I was a kid, if you could have told me that, I'd be like 30 years old and be like, Dasani's disgusting.
I'd honestly take a hose over Dasani.
100%. A hose, for sure.
Tastes like paper.
Wait, hose or a hose? Okay.
Yeah, both.
Both. All right, what do you got? Dasani tastes like paper, yes. Okay, so Paige is off Dasani too. Okay, so all right, so we're going to go. Let me get one vote here. Somebody give a vote. Bud Light or Dasani, what do you hope happens?
Which is more likely?
Which is more likely to happen that you got to drink for the rest of the year? That's what I want to know. I'll tell you this. I actually don't know if I've had a Bud Light Lime in 10 years.
I had them when they first came out. There was like a 3-month period when it was new.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of fun to drink. Something completely different.
Bud Light Lime. All right, Bud Light Lime. Oh, man, we're still split. Right
Yeah.
down the middle. All right, Paige, you got to decide. Dasani or Bud Light? What's more likely to happen? We're just giving it to or Jordan here. Jordan, give me a
First one to answer.
First one to answer gets we're moving ahead. I tell you what, man, I'm looking at that Bud Light Lime.
All right.
Damn it.
Dasani's going to be more likely.
All right, so I gotta keep
Dasani.
track of this. So now the next, Chainsaw Bears is gonna go against.
Dasani.
Damn, that's weird.
All right. Next one.
Chainsaw against Dasani. All right, next
All right,
one.
so this one we're going to do a little different. You're going to explain it, and then I'm going to pull up the picture.
Fantastic. The next one, This is going to be one that upsets you. This is actually definitely copyright bottled water.
Bottle hose water.
Yeah, we should copyright the bottled hose water, dude.
Nah. Why are you always changing these buttons? You never. They're
We
supposed to live on the home screen.
If I had the dunce hat in here, you'd be wearing the dunce hat right now. But you do get a fart. You get
Copyright.
No, you get a fart noise. You don't get a copyright. All right. In the next year, the next 6 months, it is found that coffee with caffeine actually makes COVID way more likely that you catch it. So for the next 6 months, the only coffee produced is decaf coffee. That's all you can get for 6 months, dude. Just decaf. It's the punk ass orange handle. Dude, what is? It's like a 1950s diner. I love it. All right,
my favorite photo.
and then there's also a massive shortage. So right now there is shortages of beef and stuff, and sugar apparently. So the only company that's able to battle through this, through the poverty-ridden times where nobody's buying candy, is Black Licorice. Black Licorice is able to hang on. And get themselves a spot in everybody's table. What do you think Nestle is?
Bottled hose water, baby. If it was, I would like it way more.
For sure. I think
It needs that metallic, like, hosey taste.
I'm 1,000% sure I've read articles that Dasani doesn't do anything to their water, but I don't even know if that.
I think they run it through like a coffee filter or something.
like
one coffee filter gets used for like
a
50.
filter with like the holes the size of like a cheese
Yeah.
grater. Like,
It's just run it through.
keeps out like pine cones and stuff. That's it. Everything else can
Just
go.
a big butterfly net.
I might kill everyone if I have to drink decaf for a year. Yeah, this is aimed as a definite crowd.
Yeah, we had certain people in mind when
Yeah,
this thing hit.
For sure. We knew that certain people were not going to be able to get out with decaf. So, what is more likely in your eyes, Lamb, that we don't get out with decaf or Black Licorice is the only candy left?
Honestly, I think decaf is a possibility.
Yeah.
I could see because Hawaii's, I think, and maybe a little in California of where coffee is actually grown.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, it's other countries. So easily I could see there being some sort of issue getting the coffee beans in here.
some kind of coffee crisis.
Yes.
There could be a coffee tea party.
Sure. That's what you want to call it.
Well, it can't just be called a coffee party because people are going to show up for that. If it's called a coffee tea party, at least they know they got a riot there. Fuck them both. I can live without candy, so I'm going Black Licorice. Yeah, I 100% agree with Jordan. I really hope the Black Licorice takes over this decaf coffee thing. Coffee is just too much. I do like coffee, but you don't drink it.
I don't drink it.
Do you like Black Licorice?
No.
That's disgusting. Does anybody in here like Black Licorice? Because we do have to ban that person if that's...
Yeah, where's the ban button?
We got to kick you
This
out.
is actually more of a quiz to see who, like...
Trying to weed out our sociopaths.
Exactly. But
Revoke your right to vote.
I will say, hey, like, did you ever drink Sambuca?
Mm-mm.
It was like the stuff at the bar, and it had to be extra cold, and it tasted like black licorice. And certain people loved it.
That's disgusting.
It was, ugh.
I give all my votes to Black Licorice. I, too, give all my votes to...
So you think that's more likely?
Oh, shit, no. I think more likely is decaf.
Yeah.
Sorry, decaf more likely. What do you got?
I got decaf.
Decaf as well.
Yeah.
We got one vote Black Licorice. Decaf is happening, but I do like licorice. You like Black Licorice?
Who is this girl? She drinks Nestle water and eats black licorice?
There's a lot of things that we're going to have to talk about after this whole thing is over. If there's other roads in 10 minutes, yes, with capitals. Yes, I do like Black Licorice. All right.
All right,
Do you
well-
like Micanites?
Mike,
What's the other? What's the ones that actually have Black Licorice in them? Not Micanites. They're called
Juji
Good
fruit.
and Plenties. That's what they're called.
Oh,
They're called
yeah.
Good and Plenties. Black jelly beans are the only ones I will eat.
Oh. Oh.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move coffee along.
Yeah.
Let's move coffee along.
All
I
right.
can't.
Yeah.
The Black Licorice is already grossing me out. All right, what else we got? Final one.
Hold on 1 second. Let's get this all right.
Yeah. All right. So we got licorice. It's gonna go against whatever this one.
No,
is.
coffee.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Coffee. Sorry. Too much going on. There's too many words on this page.
Yeah.
All right, next one.
We got to do paper next time. It's just,
Or I could just write in words that I could read.
that's what I mean. I feel like you can write a little better.
My handwriting is it's sketchy at best here, people. Okay, so then
Scribble scrabble, if you will.
so technology becomes an issue going here forward. Again, all facts, no lies. Technology becomes an issue, and there's so much Netflix and Amazon and Hulu, and they all actually come into a massive copyright situation, and
They crashed the internet.
they crash it. It goes down. Nobody's able to use them. The only thing that you are left with for the rest of the year is C-SPAN. Bow! everybody's favorite. When you're bored, you turn on C-SPAN and get rowdy. When I used to have parties in my house, I'd turn on C-SPAN when everybody's kind
When
of
it was time to leave?
when,
You want everybody to leave?
people were showing up just to kind of get things rolling.
What if you went to a bar and all they had playing was C-SPAN?
I would go to the bar next door. And then the other thing that is happening in the future is that there has, I don't know what happened here for this to happen.
So what happens is all these music sites go down.
Uh-huh.
So no Spotify, no iTunes,
That's
no
right.
no SoundCloud, no nothing.
That's right.
YouTube, everything's done.
Mhm.
So in response, guess what?
What happens?
Nickelback puts out a new album.
Bam! That's it. So that's the only music you're allowed to listen to for the
Yep.
rest of the year. Nickelback's new album coming out.
They send one to you in the mail, and it's the only thing that you can play.
And I heard it features Bono, so that actually is true.
Yeah. And it's got tons of bonus content.
Black Licorice and Zabuka. Yeah. What is? Yeah.
That's Annis. Yeah, I know.
Good and plenty.
Garbage.
Yeah. Dear God, give me C-SPAN. We actually expected some Nickelback protectors, if you will. We thought we'd have some defenders in here.
I have to say, I'm not a protector of Nickelback, but I never hated it.
I will give you that. I don't. There is
Like it didn't come on. I was like, oh god.
I
I didn't have like this visceral reaction people seem to have.
If there's one thing that Nickelback is, if you could accuse them of something, it would be I think they're corny.
Yeah.
They're corny. I think that's. I think
beige, it's fucking whatever.
I'd rather listen to Nickelback than C-SPAN, dude. Two old dudes just really getting into it. All right,
Really, but I do love parliamentary procedure.
well then you are tuned
I'm a
in.
big fan of, oh,
If you really want to wrap our
the
viewers,
good senator from the state of California has the
C-SPAN,
floor.
I'm about to be so informed. Yeah, we've been hanging out with our friends recently, and Paige is really knowing her politics.
She was really up to date on that ratification
She's
act.
referencing so many House speakers. What do you think is more likely to happen?
The C-SPAN, honestly, for
sure.
more likely to happen.
For sure. I mean, Nickelback does get some hate. I remember I told you this off air. There's like a famous meme where the girl's laying in bed next to her boyfriend, and she's thinking in her head, I wonder if he's over there sitting thinking about other girls, and it shows his thought, and it's just, I wonder why so many people dislike Nickelback. And I think that is like a thought. For at least 5 years there, they were like the #1 hated band.
It was weird because it came out, and then there was like an immediate, like, obviously they sold a lot of albums.
You know what it was? I know what it was.
What?
It was the last real big single they had. It was this Photograph song, and I know
Yeah.
people in the show in this podcast might deep down quietly like this song, but it was corny, and I know that was like the end of be all of Nickelback.
It was like they came out and they were kind of whatever, I think.
Look at this photograph.
I'm about to post something in the thing. Can you post photos?
Can you post photos in here? I would be love to see if a photograph.
I doubt it.
It's a dick pic. We're gonna have to ban Malcolm. That would really suck. But I bet everyone knows at least 3. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody hates Nickelback.
I don't know if I can name 3 songs, but I'm also not good at like.
Oh, look at this photograph. Okay, yeah. See, yeah, everybody knows that song. Thank you, Malcolm. Yeah, everybody knows that song.
I don't think I could name 3 songs, but I'm sure if you played me 3 songs, I'd be like, yeah, I heard those.
I know. I do like one song by them. It's called Animal, and I only like it because it's about a dude and his girlfriend who sneak down to like a park somewhere in a car, and they're like kind of banging and they're kind of getting the thing on, and then like her dad rolls up in like a truck, and he's like, you got like pull out of there. I genuinely like that song just for the content. All right, so more likely, I got C-SPAN more likely.
All right.
C-SPAN more likely.
I think so.
Moving on. All right, so C-SPAN's going straight up against coffee, dude. It's gonna be a battle, dude.
All right.
You're gonna
so
need
hold
the
on.
coffee to stay awake. During
Yeah.
C-SPAN.
Yeah.
But it's
C-SPAN
decaf,
and
so you
coffee
can't.
go hand in hand, but it's decaf, and now you're fucking.
Animal, see? That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Animal was the jam.
All right. So what we got going first? We got Chainsaw Bears. Chainsaw Bears battling who?
Yeah, sorry, I just wanted to hit the fart noise. I love hitting that noise. And then go straight up against Dasani.
All right.
Bang. All right, so now I think it's more likely that the water thing happens, but I'm rooting for the Bears. So what do I vote for?
you can vote with your head or vote with your heart, buddy.
Yeah, I'm voting with my heart. I got these Bears going to the
All right,
final.
then I got to go Dasani. I got to battle you on that.
I got to help somebody else. Have somebody give me either the water moves forward or the Bears move forward.
Now,
Water,
do you think Bears like Dasani?
yes.
Like instead of stream water?
No.
If I get them a fresh flowing river in Alaska or a bottle of Dasani,
I'm drinking from the river before I drink from the sun.
Chainsaw Bears.
Yeah, fuck Dasani. Let's go. Wait, give me a horn. that horn always makes me feel like I'm coming out of the tunnel for like a big game.
Yeah,
It's
it gets me like Ray Lewis hype
you
level.
were gonna need Dasani to make the decaf. Damn it. I didn't think about that.
Well, if Dasani doesn't happen, we have all water.
Yeah, that's if all of these things happen together.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we got the Chainsaw Bear moving forward.
All right.
Yeah, I think
Kind of saw that coming, but
Has anybody here actually drinking water from from a natural creek? Have you ever done this?
and my family have a house in Vermont, and there's a spot where you can like actually fill up your water jugs and like comes like straight out of. It's just literally like a pipe that comes out of the hill.
Dasani factory.
Way better than Dasani, buddy.
You're just sitting out there drinking their filtered water.
Yeah.
Their unfiltered water.
All right. So what do we else we got? We got C-SPAN battling,
This
decaf,
coffee.
boom.
Yeah, because I used to live in my family has a cabin in the mountains, and they have a spring that the water drips off, and we were able to drink from that.
Yeah,
But my family has told me a zillion times, outside of that, don't touch water anywhere.
Yeah,
So I think
that
that's
was
a
pretty much our law too.
pretty good rule of thumb there. All right, so we got decaf against C-SPAN. I gotta go C-SPAN, dude.
More likely.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I'm gonna say Trump. Most of the coffee comes from very limited places. I'm gonna say Trump pisses somebody off, and no more coffee, bro.
Damn. All right. No more coffees. I'm gonna vote C-SPAN. I think there's some massive debate
There's
happening.
natural springs in Florida.
Yeah, there better be, dude.
I wouldn't trust any of that Everglade water.
Both are gonna put you to sleep. That's actually pretty true. So win-win, I think here.
Yeah.
But at least with C-SPAN, I'm getting some information. Decaf, I'm just getting pissed off. So I'm gonna go C-SPAN. It looks like in the chat we have C-SPAN, C-SPAN, C-SPAN.
I'm not seeing that. It's weird. And you folks that are
It's really bizarre.
Mal's taking C-SPAN.
Let's go.
Mal can't do the.
Decaf coffee.
That's like a panic.
He would actually physically die. I would have to scoop him off the ground. He'd be like Play-Doh.
How
Man.
many Red Bulls do you think Malcolm would have to drink a day?
No, this is what would happen. He would literally turn into like kind of like a Jello form on the floor, and in order to resuscitate him, I'd be funneling Red Bulls in. That's what I would have
but
to
I'm
do.
saying, what do you think what do you think the equivalent of Red Bulls you would have to consume in a day would be?
I don't know how much caffeine is in a Red Bull compared to a coffee.
Well, we're talking size. It depends, but like ounce for ounce, I'd say Red Bull's probably twice as much.
Ugh, that's too much. That's too much caffeine. My heart will explode. And I can't have a cup of coffee at Real Talk sometimes without getting jittery. So I don't know how people drink it every day, but I mean, you can hear how fast I'm talking anyway. I don't really need any coffee. I haven't had any coffee all day, and I'm just okay. So we had 2 C-SPAN. Sorry, Claim. You got booted.
All
bro.
right.
C-SPAN.
I think those were panic votes, but I'll take them.
I'll take 3 C-SPANs. Moving on against Chainsaw Bears. C-SPAN against the Bears. All right, real quick. What do we got here?
Hold on.
Give me that bear. Now, is that bear going the wrong side?
Yep. Where is it? Where's my bear?
You had it.
There it is.
Oh, you're a beast. All right, so we got Chainsaw, probably a 6-pack, easy. Probably a 6-pack of Red Bull to get you resuscitated. I totally agree.
So 6 a day, you thinking?
So Starbucks, yeah. Yes, I'm saying. Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask any of you this. If you drink caffeine on a regular, you have a tolerance, right?
I drink a fair amount of caffeine, I would say.
You have a tolerance.
Yeah.
So that's different than if you had caffeine when you were 20 compared to you have caffeine now, right?
Yeah.
How much caffeine do you think somebody like Malcolm or you could drink without actually physically dying?
A lot more than I think, but I've definitely.
Is there something higher than a gold member card there? Yeah, it's called
I've,
part owner.
I've definitely gotten to a point where I've felt the caffeine affecting my body.
Yeah, I definitely had that. I feel it all the time.
Like legit, like
kinda
like
weird.
unsafe
Yeah.
levels. And I would say for me, it's probably like 4.
She said, I don't feel anything from Starbucks drinks. That's crazy.
I'd
to
say
me.
like 4. I'll have had like 4 energy drinks in a day.
And you think it gets
And
a
I
little jumpy?
know, it's beyond jumpy. Like
Okay.
I'm like where I feel like almost like palpitations coming on.
Uncomfortable. Yeah, I mean, I remember I don't drink coffee like that. I don't have espresso like that. We've just recently got a espresso machine. I only get a day.
Black coffee with 2 shots of espresso.
That's a lot of caffeine, but that's not as bad as I was thinking.
But we've also talked about espresso. People think it's like this like crazy like nitroglycerin for coffee, and
It's just
in
like
reality, it's not.
It's just equivalent to a cup of coffee, from what I've told.
I think it might even be a touch less.
Yeah, so that's basically 3 cups of coffee.
Yeah. At once.
But one time I was going on with a hike with my older brother, and Mount just snorts espresso beans. Yeah, he just grinds up espresso beans right into his veins. One time I went on a hike with my brother, and he said, "Hey, you want to pick up a drink from Starbucks?" And I said, "Sure." So he gives me this drink. It was delicious. I think it was a caramel macchiato, iced. It was delicious. he didn't tell me until maybe like an hour into the hike because I started telling him I was having palpitations. I was like, dude, my heart is actually going to come out of my chest, dude. I can actually feel it. I said, I'm telling you, man, I don't know. The Starbucks has really got me jacked up. I said, I feel like almost unsafe. He said, really? I said, never have those reactions. And I said, yeah. And I said, what did you get me? Just that? He said, well, I got you a triple shot. And I was like, dude, you can't roll a triple shot onto somebody, dude. I was like physically shaking. What do we got? A couple comments I missed. Mount, yeah, okay, so
Yeah.
Then I guess.
All right, so we got to battle the
Battled
C-SPAN
out, yeah.
and the Bears.
I'm glad that the Bears
Which is coming. I think we got to go C-SPAN because
I agree.
Because it might happen.
Yes, that's what I think. That's what I think too.
We like to predict the future here, folks.
Yep. I think honestly,
Apparently, Paige thinks you need a negative triple shot.
I do.
Whatever the inverse of a triple shot is.
It's a tranquilizer.
Yeah.
I definitely need a tranquilizer.
So, our winner.
C-SPAN. I literally can't believe that. C-SPAN came all the way through and beat a bear with chainsaw hands, dude. We didn't even let them vote, dude.
Yeah.
But that's
Sorry,
right.
folks.
Sorry, folks.
That's what happens when you don't type quick.
In the next few weeks, maybe a month or two, at some
Keep an eye out for this.
Keep an eye out. Netflix.
Trump's going to ban all social media and all news and all television except for C-SPAN.
That's what you guys have left. All right, what do we got next? What do we got here? Oh, yeah. Yeah, your social distancing solutions here.
All right.
Let's throw us back on the screen here. Okay, cool. All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for we're not going anywhere, but I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. We're having some fun here, and we're going to try and do this just for often, probably twice a week is at least what we'd like to do. That's a lot because
all this quarantine stuff's going on.
You can see there's a lot of information to build here just for one episode, but we at least
who's this?
We like to do it twice a week. Oh, it's my boy Kurt. Do the stanky leg. Appreciate Kurt. Welcome to the podcast.
About time, Kurt. Only an hour late.
Yeah, you're actually on the podcast normally. Stanky. All right, we got people talking in the chat. I like that. Y'all can just hang out. But going forward, we are gonna try and do it at least a couple times a week. We're gonna try and do some watch-alongs too when like new shows come out. When maybe some sporting events. We are not copyright allowed to show them, but we'll probably show clips as we go. We'll probably show our favorite stuff as we go. We are allowed to do that. And you can just come in and do what we're doing now, man. We'll just be talking. You guys can chip chat and chat. So we'll do that. All right. So what else you got here?
So social distancing is becoming the new social justice, if you will. You have to like prove how good you are about distancing at all times from everyone. You have to wear your mask. You have to, if you're not wearing a mask, you're an asshole right now. And it's becoming a bit of a thing. But they've started reopening some of these restaurants. So we thought it would be like interesting, like how is that going to work? So you can't just like be 6 feet apart from everybody at all times. It's pretty much impossible.
And they've even said 6 feet's not really good enough anyway.
Yeah, no, it's like it's arbitrary number.
Yeah.
But we investigated a few different ways. One of them, I found this picture and I thought it was hilarious.
What do you got here?
This one.
Oh, yeah, this is the one that I've seen before, though.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually a real restaurant, and they did not do this for social distancing.
Somebody just said, like, ahead of the curve, already social distancing, and they found this restaurant. And I guess it was in a very, small footprint, and they wanted to have more tables, but they had fairly tall ceilings, so they decided, hell, fuck yeah, let's
would
go
love
up.
to know if this is in America, because I don't think it is.
I doubt it is.
I mean,
don't think that would be allowed in America. There would have to be like handrails and safety features.
I was also thinking we have so
many.
many fat people. Nobody's climbing up the steps to eat their food.
How are you dropping that food off? That must have sucked as a
no way.
waiter.
You look like a badass.
Yeah, just like gotta go up those things like just They're just like maybe they got like a pulley system or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, but
maybe they just throw it up there.
Yeah.
Trout coming up.
Maybe you have you have like a little like basket or something that you do.
Yeah. Yeah, a little basket pulley.
Yeah, you put it down, like scoop it up like a butterfly net.
There we go. What is
China?
China. That's what I'm saying. It probably is China. That's what I'm saying. I love this outfit. Or what else we got? What was another idea you had?
So then there was this one. Hold on. And we got this one.
This is real though. This is actually like a real idea.
This is a thing that some restaurants are testing out. They're dining bubbles. Basically, you have this like half a wine glass, giant plastic wine glass that's lowered down from the ceiling on top of you, and you sit inside of it and get to consume your food.
You know what that is, dude?
Damn, that's snug.
That is snug. That's a little snug in there.
I would imagine it has to be sealed, right? Or is it open on the top, you think?
I gotta hope it's open at the top, otherwise I'd be steaming this whole
I know,
thing
that's
up.
what I'm like. It start getting foggy. You got to like wipe it and so you can see the person you're with and
talk at
talking
like-
through.
I talk at
You
like
would have to
500
talk
words a minute.
so loud.
Yeah.
And it'd be bouncing around.
It's like you talking to like a red Solo cup.
Yeah,
you know?
I know.
It'd be
You have this
ridiculous.
weird Darth Vader voice the entire time.
Maybe people can hear you all the way across the restaurant.
know.
Maybe it's megaphoning you.
I know. It's like bouncing around like crazy.
All right, anybody in here, would you guys actually eat if this was the rule, or would this bother anybody? Because to be honest with you, I'll just take my
Yep.
food to go. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, straight up, I know that they're trying, but this seems more. Some of these things that we've seen seem like, yeah, they might hinder you, but the experience would still be great. This looks like it actually would hinder the experience for me. I feel like I would have less of a good time.
You're just, it's just such a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, I don't want that. I'd be steaming that thing up, and I know I would. You put like a goggles on.
What about a fat person? It doesn't fit. Now I got to get an extra big like cone. Like, oh, you have to. Hold
We don't
on,
say
let's-
fat, dude. We say
all right,
obese.
fucking massive. Just
No.
what if you're just like a giant NFL like lineman? You're in shape, but you're gigantic.
All right, I'll give you that. I'm saying you can't fit in there.
Yeah, like
What if
that
you-
dude looks like he's a normal sized guy, and he's just like touching edge to
Just
edge.
squeezed in there,
Yeah.
dude. I don't like it either. All right. Yeah, I don't like it.
So then I was trying to think like what do you think would work? So
it's like visiting someone in prison. You just pick up the phone. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know.
It looks like a prison.
at some point, the meals are gonna be like prison. Like you're gonna be a giant plexiglass divider.
Here's one thing I am worried about, and this has nothing to do with social distancing, but I am worried that if you can only bring people in, and they have to be less, there has to be less tables, they have to be farther apart, and they have to obviously help less people, and everybody's unemployed, so they're probably gonna have less business. All of that, I feel like all that's gonna do is make prices go up, right? Like if
They're
you're
gonna have to have their prices go up because they're gonna serve less meals, but have to make as much money.
That's what I'm saying. So instead of a $19 steak, you're gonna pay $35. Like I
Yeah.
really feel like that's gonna happen. I don't feel like that's almost inevitable.
Thick and fluffy.
Excuse me, I'm thinking fluffy. Yeah. Okay, so for now on, that's what we'll use in here. So let's say somebody comes in and they're thick
little thick, little fluffy.
and a little fluffy. Yeah. People are gonna be super confused.
But like, yeah, it's like you're just basically gonna screw these restaurants over. Like it's impossible. Like they said most restaurants need to operate on average at about 80% capacity,
Right.
to
I'm
make
saying-
money.
and you won't be able to fit 80%
And-
in there.
Well, and that's over the course of the week. So they take like lunch and like a Monday night dinner at lower capacity, knowing Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, Florida was wild. No masks. Places were packed. Yeah, well, actually, and that's true. I've seen that a lot.
Yeah.
People on beaches, people in restaurants, in certain areas where people have just really thrown
Said,
caution to the wind and said,
"Fuck
"I
it."
don't care. I'm gonna go right back to my life."
So now, do you think that there should be like, all right, this is a mask-free restaurant, and we're saying fuck it. If you come here, you come here, and it's your choice.
Man,
The only problem, I don't have any problem with that restaurant doing that. The problem is like if somebody goes there, I might be with them in the grocery store.
right. I mean,
And
that's
stuff like that. Like they're bringing it out of that restaurant.
right. I'm saying I think it's the same argument that everybody's having. It's like it's not that you are dangerous in there, that you're gonna get sick, it's that you're gonna kick it to somebody else. But honestly, I hate to say it, but I kind of like the idea of like a no mask place. But like, hey, this is a no mask place. But I really don't think it'll ever happen. And maybe I don't like it because I mean they've said legitimately that the masks themselves can stop or at least and slow it down by 50%. You're 50% more or less likely to get it if you have a mask on. So I think that'll probably stay for a while. I just think they're gonna have to have more outside seating. The tables are gonna have to be a little bit farther apart. The
only
waiter's
good
gonna
thing-
have to yell at you from across the room.
Yeah, the only good thing is that it is summertime.
It's annoying down here. Can you expound on that? What do you mean by it's annoying down here? Like, what's going on? Like, people just don't care, or people are annoyed if you don't have a mask, and people are jumping on you if you do. Like, what do you mean by that? What were you saying?
Well, like I'm saying, it's good that it's the summer, so like outdoor seating is a thing. Have you seen this new thing that some of the streets in LA are going to be closed for cars, so that restaurants that don't have outdoor seating, they're going to let them just expand into the streets?
Oh, that's a smart idea. That's what I'm saying. At least that way they can still make that capacity, and it'd probably be a better experience anyway for people sitting
Yeah.
outside. I would love that. People just don't care. Yeah, I mean, I think people don't care about something if it doesn't directly affect them. I think that's just the human nature. I'm not even really faulting people for it. I just think if you don't see somebody within 6 degrees of separation get sick, then it's really hard for you to justify all of the extra precautions. I think that's just where people are at.
I mean, yeah, I agree. It's like it's this invisible thing. You go outside, it doesn't seem like anything's different.
Right.
You go outside after a hurricane.
You don't even hear people coughing or I don't see sick people. What was it say? Droves of people are coming down here for vacation. Yeah, that's right, because you guys are open. Everybody's flooding down there saying, like, this is the place to hang out. When, you're just as likely to catch it there probably
So
than anywhere
then
else.
if they get it all there and then they're all traveling back, it's like it doesn't.
Yeah, it's like literally zombie apocalypse type stuff. I don't really know what the answer is. I'm kind of curious. I like some of the ingenuity that people have come up with as far as restaurants and businesses.
So this was my thought. Masks with a zipper on the front. So you could open it up, eat your food, re-zip it.
Boom, you're in and out. But 2 problems. 1, you're going to get food on the mask. So it's got to be washable.
Yeah.
2, you're going to look like a sex doll.
I think you're going to look more like a BDSM doll.
No, but that's fine. Yeah.
But
Honey, would you like another bite? Yes.
open the hanger.
Yeah. Honey, I'd like a kiss. Could you unzip yourself for a second?
I did see something that I thought was really cool was these masks that had clear around the mouth, and they were for people that were hard of hearing, so you could see lip read.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, actually.
Ground zero.
Yeah, I mean, legitimately, you guys are going to be ground zero.
Wow. If I had to take bets on where ground zero was going to be if we had a zombie apocalypse in America,
Florida would be already.
Florida would be number 1.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be a vote. It would be Florida, and then the number 3 would be Florida.
it would be Miami.
Yeah,
somehow
right.
like somebody in the state of Miami.
That's right. That's right. All right. And then we got one more thing today. We got my thing.
Oh yeah, we got buttons to push.
That's right. And if you guys
make sure it's on the right thing because Nick likes to move it over.
That's right. And if you guys are, just real quick before I do this here, if you guys have not done it, just throw us a follow, man. We are trying to get to a certain number there so that we can get some revenue coming back.
If you got any friends on the Twitch, just give us a shout out on there.
It's incredibly selfish of us, but that's the only way we stay alive. We really just eat.
We got to hit it. Yeah, we got to hit a certain number before we before we can do other things.
Collect some revenue. Yeah. So that's what we're after here.
So we got to be kind of beggy at first. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. I hate plugging. I hate all this shit, but that's just what we got to do.
Hey, Jordan's got the idea. Blend all your meal and then you drink it through a straw. I'm gonna have a Thanksgiving dinner shake, please.
And then I'll have my dessert as well. Yeah.
That cherry pie.
You
blend it up.
Just blend it in with the turkey.
I'd like it in 2 separate stages. Now, would you rather it be one milkshake or a series of milkshakes?
Series of milkshakes.
So you want like a mashed potato milkshake and then a gravy milkshake
No,
and then a turkey milkshake? I'm saying I'm saying all the things on individual milkshakes.
Why would the gravy not be with the mashed potatoes?
It's separate. You take sips because sometimes I like gravy on my turkey. So I have a gravy milkshake, so I can take a turkey sip, then I take a gravy sip, and I mix it together. I want a mashed potato sip, and I get a little gravy on top.
I get a gravy mashed potato. I get a gravy and mashed potatoes milkshake, a turkey and gravy milkshake.
No.
Yeah, well, I don't want to be double sipping.
No, you gotta mix them up. Sometimes you want to mix.
You're not gonna be able to slurp gravy through a straw.
It's been blended.
It's already liquefied. It's gravy. It's not gonna get any thinner. It's just gonna
throw a beer.
It's gonna get foamy and bubbly. Please no milkshake talk. Yeah, courses of milkshake.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, your first course. Here comes the romaine lettuce milkshake with a balsamic blend. But they're not going to give you balsamic as
like
a separate.
Caesar.
No, they're not.
But that's what I'm saying. You get a Caesar salad milkshake. That's going to have some Caesar in it. That's
fine.
But I'm just saying.
Is anybody in here on Thanksgiving want mashed potatoes or turkey without gravy? Because you're a schmuck. Oh man, the series of milkshakes is just sick. Actually, probably terrible. Right? Yeah. Give me the comments. Right there we go.
Copyright.
I love the people watching and know the copyright buttons on the board. That makes me laugh. Yes, but Jordan's right. A place where they were blending all the stuff together and they called it like milkshake courses or something. It would be disgusting, but people.
Now that's the Shake Shack I'm interested in.
If you had a good enough chef, it could work.
I feel you would have to make it specific milkshakes or specific shakes.
Yeah, peanut butter and jelly milkshake.
Yeah, you could have things. And like it'd be like Cinnamon Toast Crunch cereal. Like you could have like stuff like that.
You
like
couldn't do a Thanksgiving dinner one.
That would be rough.
It would be
I've had Thanksgiving dinner sodas.
Anybody have any idea for a meal that might actually taste good blended?
Breakfast, like pancakes and syrup.
Yeah, I could see that. French toast might be better because of the vanilla in there or something, but I can see that for pancakes. Not like you don't want like scrambled egg.
Yeah, it's a Western omelet milkshake.
I'll take my Western omelet to go, please. Could you just blend it up? And then I'll take a real milkshake to wash it down with. Kevin's right. You want turkey and gravy? Suck on 2 shakes at once. No way, dude. No way.
Sometimes you want different ratios, baby.
No, F that, dude. I want it all together, baby. That'd be like, now I gotta add like salt and pepper later too. Nah, come on, dude. I don't want
You season your milkshake a little bit. Stir it up.
All right. If somebody has any idea for a good meal that would be blended, Lamb will try it and let us know how it goes.
I'm gonna work on that.
Lamb loves to blend stuff.
We're gonna go with like a live from the phone stream of me in the kitchen making
tacos. Whoa. What kind of tacos though?
I bet beef. You could probably get a beef.
Yeah, you could probably get a beef taco blended. It'd have to be cheesy or something.
Yeah,
yeah.
It'd be like, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we'll get you to blend it all up though. I mean, some people like to do puzzles, some people like to draw. You blend, you know?
Yeah. I'm gonna need a industrial blender though. You're gonna need something that can chop through a lot of stuff.
True that. All right. Moving on. Slam that joint. So we got the
petty story of the week.
That's right. I like to get petty. Now, normally on the petty story of the week, I would say 99% of the time I'm on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I want to be fan.
Yeah.
Two bots back to back.
Yeah, I think it's how they work. I think they work in teams.
Really?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would
play
like
off each other.
I would like if the Instagram bots were in teams. You know, like they're like, "Hey, I'm wet. Come to my story." What if they were like, "Yo, come to both of our stories and we'll make out." Yeah. Then you can get somebody in there.
Now you might trick somebody.
Man, now you might actually get somebody. One girl saying the same shit as everybody else. I don't.
And why do they only always have 4 photos?
Because
it's always 4.
Because they get banned as soon as they.
But I'm just saying, like, it's never 5. It's never 3.
Here's my major issue with it. Like, if you go to YouTube or Instagram is where I think it's most prominent, both of those, how has it not been solved? Big fans. Yeah, big fans of the show right there. They just dropped the exact same message. They're just huge fans.
They want us to become
How
famous.
How is a gazillion-dollar corporation like YouTube and Instagram, who's owned by Facebook, not figured out how to get rid of bots? I genuinely don't understand.
Yeah.
How does that happen? How could you not figure out a way?
How do I have to, like, prove I'm not a robot all the time?
Yes, right. Everywhere I go.
And somehow there's robots doing everything.
These robots are smart.
Like, for me to get into my bank account,
yeah,
I got to get through 37 layers of things.
Piss in a cup.
But I can sign on to Twitch, and within 6 seconds, 12 robots know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And have like, paragraphs ready for me.
Well, legitimately, if you go to, like, any major Instagram, like a Sports Center or an ABC News or something like that, the second they post, the very first message is always like, "Hey, you want to come and hang out?" Like, it's always like the same shit. I just don't understand how there's not like some kind of algorithm that can just just get rid of that crap. Okay, anyway. All right, now back to my petty story of the week. Like I said, normally for me the pettiness I agree with. This one's 50-50. Is it too petty? Is it not?
I don't know this story, so I'm coming in with fresh ears.
Here you go. Okay, so the story is about a 20-year-old guy in college. Okay. So you got to go way back. No, we all got to go way back. Everybody's got to go way back now.
Man. It's going to be 18 years. So he's 20? Yeah.
20 years old.
It'll be 18 years, 2 days from now.
Yeah. So he lived in a house with a bunch of with a bunch of guys. I think he said that there was 4 actual bedrooms and somebody slept in the garage. I've had friends do the exact same thing. It pumps their numbers, advertises they get 3 million views. If the bots get purrs, their numbers. Really? That's.
I know they let bots be like.
So they have the bots in there just because it boosts their numbers.
When they say followers, they say like a third of the followers are those major people or bots.
I guess I just yeah. I mean, changing the stats, I get that. I mean, but what is really happening is it's short-sighted to me, because what's really happening is you're just pissing off the user base, because legitimately it actually is annoying, and I find it to be that I would say it's a stain on the companies. I don't think it's like it's not a stain on the bots. I think it's a stain on the companies. I think the companies, in my opinion, I think it makes YouTube and Instagram look less professional, and I think it makes them look chunky. I think it reminds me way more of like a shitty off-brand app once all these bots come in. I think it makes them look junky. So maybe it does.
That was like a big thing with like Tinder. Like it was like cool for a little bit, and then all those fake profiles came in.
Right, I love Jordan said I don't think they make the bots. Right, I'm not saying they make the bots. I'm just saying they just let them go. I'm just saying for me it definitely
He loves boys. He's been spelling that a bunch.
It's all the milkshake bringing him in.
Yeah, he's a little
all the
discombobulated.
boys of the yard. He just can't get out of his head. It's classic. My thing is like I said, for me, I think it makes the company look junky. Like to me, I know this sounds crazy. It makes me feel like I'm almost less safe there. Because I'm like, I don't want to click on anything on the site because it could be malware, right?
Yeah.
So that's why. So for me, it's not a good user experience.
Yeah,
thing.
if you go to if I go to buy something and the website looks like trash,
I'm not buying it.
I'm not buying it.
So Instagram's sitting there pumping me with ads. I'm not going to buy anything from them because I barely trust that they can operate, securely as is, let alone with my credit card. Okay, so the kid lives in a house with his buddies. He said, it's 4 bedrooms and a garage. So he said, there's 5 people living there, but there's typically about 7 to 10 people in the house. I grew up in a very, very similar house where technically I think 7 people lived there, but we always had like 10 or 12 people in the house. It's just how it was. I don't disagree at all. I think they just see this dollars and better. Yeah, I mean, I think he said, I think they see the dollars more than the credibility. I agree with that. I think they do. I just long term, I think that they're gonna. I mean, I don't know. I think they'll probably address it. I think it's hard for people.
I think they do like massive purges periodically.
Yeah,
they just don't purge all the time.
Yeah. So the kid moved in this house. He got a bunch of kids there, and he said, in the beginning of the year, his parents sent him like a kind of a survival bag, like everybody's parents do, and it had like a bunch of crap in there. It had like bagels and Doritos and fruit roll-ups. I don't know, all this junk. So he had a bunch of different stashes. He had one under his bed. He had one on top of his bed, or whatever. He had a bunch of different ones. He said that. A lot of days he was coming in and some of the stuff had been obviously opened and eaten and people were kind of helping themselves to things. And so a lot of the people he didn't even know. It's like some of these people were like friends of friends. So he said to everybody, hey, just letting you guys know, like that food in my room is for me. Like I'd appreciate if you guys like genuinely don't touch it. Like if I'm here and you guys want to ask for something, that's fine. But like while I'm, like if I'm here, that's fine. But if I'm not, like don't go into my food. And everybody's like, oh yeah, for sure. And like 10, 12 people, he said like totally, for sure. So he said, it stopped for about a week. And then he said he had gotten a big bag of Doritos. He was saving it. It was like a premiere of his show was coming on. He said he came back and there was like crumbs left in the bag. There was like nothing left in the bag. And he said he was furious. And he was just like, so he went out and there was like 9 people in the living room. He was like, hey, like who ate the Doritos? And everybody said they didn't eat them. Even he said they went back in the room. He looked on the floor. There was crumbs all over the floor. He said it was obvious that somebody had gotten into him and then pretty much ate the whole bag. So he was pissed. So he said after he confronted everybody, he said, everybody said, no. So what he did was he went and bought a new bag. And then he opened the bag and peed all over the Doritos and then resealed the bag. So then he comes back and he said that the bag was back in his spot, but he said it was definitely had been moved. So when he went out to the living room, he said he didn't even have to bring it up. He said one of his friends was like, yo, I'm not trying to be that dude, but like our room smells like pee. And he was like, oh, is it our room? And so he kind of like acted like casual, like it was our room. And he said, are you sure it wasn't like the Doritos? And the guy was like, yeah, I think it was coming from the Doritos. He's like, well, how'd you know it was coming from the Doritos? So he starts calling people out. Long story short, they ended up asking like what happened. He said, I peed on the Doritos to see if y'all would eat it anyway. Apparently, multiple people in the department had eaten some of these Doritos. As of the people, one of them was legitimately furious. He said was like trying to fight him. The other 2 or 1 or 2 people said that they were so embarrassed that they had gotten caught eating Doritos. They were like, yeah, that's our fault, dude. Like we got what we got. So I'm saying, is the pettiness too high? That people are eating your shit and you peed on your food, or is it right where it needs to be?
It's weird because like, other than it being pee, I'm 100% in.
Right, I hear you.
Like I'm like, what could he have used instead of pee?
Something
like
spicy.
Oh yeah, like some sort of like habanero powder, like and just shaking it on there or something. Like literally like
kill somebody though.
I
mean,
so,
pee's
like,
not gonna kill anybody. Just gonna
yeah,
gross it, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not really killing anybody with pee. It's not as gross as people think it is.
Yeah.
Like
I agree, but I'm gonna be really upset if I eat something that has pee.
Laxatives were involved according to Paige.
Yeah,
similar sour.
Yeah.
I think something like that. Like it's just I know this. This story has happened to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Mine's super weird, but I lived in a house. It was only 3 other guys and me, so 4 total. I had, for whatever reason, had like it was around Thanksgiving time, but where I was in college, I didn't go home for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So I was really craving like a Thanksgiving meal, and the thing I loved the most was green bean casserole.
I love green bean.
So I went to the store, bought everything to make green bean casserole. I made this big thing of green bean casserole, and it took a while, so made it, and then we were going out for the night. Had like a couple bites of it before we went out, wrapped it up. Cool. Go out. come back at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm like almost giddy.
Yeah.
I'm coming home, green bean casserole. I've been drinking.
Yeah.
It's just like you're hungry and drinking. And I go and I open it up, and on the stove is the bowl that I cooked the green bean casserole in, and inside is a Post-it.
I owe you.
That says, I owe you 1 green bean casserole.
So that's gonna be a tough I owe you, dude.
My roommate,
I don't know, you a 12-pack of beer, right?
One roommate ate the entire thing, like a huge portion.
Hey, at least he left a note though. That story not as bad.
But
yeah.
I was so mad. Like, it's not like you're making me one. I don't have it right now.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, legitimately.
and like, if you ate half of it, I would have been a little bummed. But you can't even save me any.
But there's a famous story in the Regano household that goes like this. We all went to dinner. Me, my dad, and my younger brother and his wife at the time go to a dinner. We come back. It's Olive Garden. Tony doesn't go. We come back. I have a bunch of leftovers. I put on the box Nix. I put it in the kitchen. Next day, it's gone. It's missing. I ask around, Frank, Dad, anybody eat my shit? Tony finally confesses up. He says, yeah, I ate it. And I said, why would you eat it? And he said, oh, man, I'm so sorry. I thought it was mine. I said, you didn't even go to Olive Garden. And he just stared at me, just dead in the lights, realized how caught he was. So to this day, like anytime somebody's like, would you eat my food? He's like, you didn't even go to Olive Garden. So that's like a running joke in the family because it's such an easy excuse to just vomit out of your mouth. I thought it was mine. But it's like in this one situation, it does not apply whatsoever.
Such a dick.
Johnny's such a dick. He literally looked at me and said, I thought it was mine. I said, you didn't even go. How could it be yours? How? Yeah, screw that guy.
We're going to have to save this chat. Show it to Tony.
Screw that roommate of ours. Anyway, I love that story. But yeah, it looks like we got some followers along here. We've had some really fun people in the chat, man. I really appreciate everybody jumping in today. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna try and do this a couple times a week. We will let you guys know a couple days ahead of time. Today was just improv. We're trying to get our numbers up. You guys
pump those numbers up.
Yeah, next one we're probably gonna do some water bottle comparisons. We got some new beers that came out, that Bud Light Lemonade, and then Warheads. If you guys know that sour candy Warheads, they put out like 5 beers that are supposed to taste like Warheads, so I have to immediately order them and try them. Post it on Snapchat when you do. Yeah, you got it. I'll put it on Snapchat. That's right. I guess that's how you found me today.
Snapchat.
I put it on Snapchat today.
Wow.
I know.
That's still working?
It's still pumping around, dude. Still pumping nudes out. So we will try and get that. Yeah, try and get it out. But I want to try these Warhead beers. I want to compare these water companies, figure out which one the best one, and we still want to do our burger competition. Figure out best burger in America right now.
Yeah. I think maybe we'll start with one. We might pump out and let you know a list of the waters we're gonna do. So if you want to taste along,
there you go. Taste along. You can have some water competition. We can figure out together.
We'll have a little taste along.
That's right. But anyway,
Taste along, sing along.
Taste along, sing along.
Nick's gonna sing songs, and I'm gonna make fun of him for it.
That's right. Is there any button that I didn't get to press today? Oh yeah, I want to press this one. No, not that one. I want to press this one.
Super duper missile.
Yeah, super duper missile. I did want to press the super duper missile button. Sorry, Donald Trump.
Always got to push the super duper missile button at least once.
That's right. Other than that, guys, I really appreciate you guys hanging out. I'm Nick.
I'm Kevin.
We are 2 dumb idiots. Yeah, I mean, I've been called dumb once or twice in my life.